Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Today I am working on a single 12 by 12 layout, and this is going to be featuring my son-in-law and my grandson, and I'm just talking about all of the things that he does to help out my son-in-law, not my grandson, um, and how he takes the baby shopping, and he cooks with him in the baby carrier and all kinds of stuff to help my daughter out. And so I just wanted to document that and get that into his baby book, or his baby album. Um, so I'm using a whole bunch of Chamel paper, and if you aren't aware or don't follow, and actually I haven't mentioned it in a while because most of my latest videos have not been with my grandson, but I am pretty much using most of Chamel's collections to document um, his first year and probably beyond that as well. We'll see. But so far I just have all of my Chamel product in a couple of bins, and so if I want to document him, I pull those out, and that's what I'm using. So I believe that striped green paper is from Go Now Go. The red paper and the floral paper there are definitely from Go Now Go. The one with all of the food on it is from Sparkle City, so that is her current collection. And I thought the colors in that floral and the food one went really well together. Um, and I know it's kind of busy, but I don't mind that. I like the busyness of it. I also want it to be kind of masculine. Another reason I chose the colors that I did is the shirt that my son-in-law is wearing on the right hand side is green, and it is red on the left hand side, so in the left hand photo, and so I wanted to have some reds and greens in there. And there was a particular piece of chipboard that I really wanted to use, and I can't remember what it says, and I don't have it in front of me, but it was like purple and pink hues, so that's why I pulled in that purple strip of paper there, and that is just a manufacturer strip from Sparkle City. I'm not going to end up using it. It's not going to stay there. It got too busy. Actually, I opted to go with some of the washi tape from Sparkle City and pull that in, and I went back and forth quite a bit on what to do. So here I am with the washi tape. I really like the turquoise. It's in those florals, and it's also in some of the coffee cups on the opposite page. And I like how that looks right there, but then I wanted to add the purple. So I went back and forth, and it just got way too busy. And I like busy, but it was a little bit over the top for me. Um, so in a short while here, I'm going to pull those things off the page, and I really do apologize for being off screen. I am not scrapbooking in my normal location for this layout, and my camera, I didn't realize I was off screen. My camera's in like a different location, um, and so I do put it back in frame a little bit better as we go along here, um, but sadly it's not going to be in frame for quite a bit of the video. It does get better though, so hopefully you can stick with it and see what happens here, because I don't always leave in all of my decision making process. I leave in quite a bit, but in this particular case I pulled everything apart and I decided to leave some of that in so that you can see it. This is like real world back and forth. And I did cut out a lot of me sitting there just tapping my fingers trying to figure out what to do. So I didn't make you sit through that. Um, I think right now I am looking at it and then trying to decide what I'm going to do with this black border strip. So I know I want to pull a little bit of that into around the photo because I have it on the vertical. And that border strip's going to stay, but the pink, purple, lavender-y color stuff is going to all go. The turquoise strip of washi tape is going to go, and so is that red background paper or border paper around the cluster of photos. I just wanted to make it a lot simpler than it was. It was getting out of control. And I used some liquid glue to adhere the black and white strip down on top of that washi, but it still pulls up fine, no problem. I do know that I don't want the black and white border strip that's going vertically to butt up against the paper that has all of the food icons on it, because the white just runs into the white. So I'm gonna turn it completely around so the black and white goes up against the floral. I'm looking at this piece of paper that has all of the signage on it, and I know I want to cut out this piece that says never quit, and it's got arrows on it, and the arrows that I'm going to use are green, and I think I use a turquoise one as well, possibly, or a blue one, and they work perfectly with the colors in the layout. And that paper is black. It has a black background, whereas the floral one has a navy blue background. So I'm going to mix black and navy blue into my embellishment clusters. And there I go, taking off that piece of turquoise washi tape. The black and white strip and the yellow strip are the branding strips out of the project pad. I take that back. It's not the project pad. It's the paper pad. Not the one from Joann's. It's the paper pad that just has single-sided sheets of paper in it, and it doesn't come with a lot of embellishments or anything like that, like the project pad does. And here I'm just trying to figure out which one to use. I know I don't want to use the pink or purple. I do want to use blue, and I want to use the green. So there I've cut them out, and I cut out that piece on the bottom right hand side that has a blue background, and I know I'm going to be wanting to pull in a black piece there. So up in the upper right hand corner you see the piece that is stuck to the table. It says Everyday Adventures. That's going to go down in that lower right hand corner to bring the black down in there. And then I wanted to have this titled Never Stop Being Wonderful, or Amazing, or Awesome. And so Wonderful was the one that I found that fit the best, that had the silver foil on it, which matches the words that say never quit. So I decided to go ahead and use that, and then I pulled out the alphas, and I think the alphas are from, I want to say they're from Box of Crayons, but it's a silver with a navy blue. And I thought that tied the navy blue floral paper really nicely to the right hand side, and underneath that, that portion of the title is the chipboard strip that matches the floral. So just bringing those colors across. And now I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put my journaling, because I know I want to write some stuff about this. And I've pulled this piece from one of the journaling pads. Actually, it's from a box of scraps that I have of all my Chamel papers, and that's why it's so narrow. But I'm going to cut it down some more. I measured it using another piece of paper there to kind of see how wide I want it. I didn't want it to completely bridge the gap over the 3 strips that are vertically running down the paper there, because I didn't want the white of the journaling paper to butt up against the icon paper. So I've narrowed it down and pulled it a little bit more towards the left, and then there was a little gap between the photo at the bottom and the journaling, and to bridge that gap I cut that blue die cut piece in half, and then I have it bridging the gap there. So I think it looks a lot better. It looks like I didn't leave this gap of the green paper, the green stripes, showing between the journaling and that lower picture. I'm going to start working on getting the titling situated. I know what I want it to look like. I know where the letters are supposed to be, but those little letters from, I think they're from Box of Crayons, like I said, they don't stick. I mean, gosh, these things are horrible. I love all the letters, but you have to put liquid glue or some other kind of adhesive to get them to stick. So that's what I was fiddling around there with. And I'm going to work on this embellishment cluster in the bottom right hand corner, and it's going to have a lot of food items in it. I used the hamburger, I used the coffee pot, I think it's called like a Bialetti or something like that, and the lenticular piece that looks like a milkshake. That's going to be moved up towards the title work. But the reason I'm using all of these food icons and using the food icon paper is because I'm talking specifically about when my son-in-law takes my grandson to the grocery store, and then he does cooking and all kinds of stuff. And actually he really does love to cook, and he cooks really well. But he gets up in the morning, especially, well, actually every day he gets up in the morning with the baby so that my daughter can get a little bit of rest if she's been up in the night, and then he goes to work a little bit later. And on the weekends, a lot of times he will get up and let her sleep in, and then he makes her breakfast. So I'm talking specifically about that and how he does all of these different tasks with the baby, but a lot of them are associated with food or shopping, grocery shopping, and that kind of stuff. So, and then in the picture he is feeding the baby as well. So at least in one of them. The other photo is, I think he's in his kitchen, in their kitchen, and he was making breakfast that day. So I thought it was appropriate that we use food items for that. And I did the journaling off camera. I didn't make you sit through that because that's kind of pointless. You know what I'm talking about in the journaling anyway, so that works. And I'm going to go through some of the little tiny sticker sheet from Head in the Clouds. I think, oh actually no, I take that back. It's not the one from Head in the Clouds. I'm using the little sticker sheet that was in Sparkle City, and it has little tiny icons which I think are really designed for using in your planner. So it's like that little yellow coffee cup and a couple things like that. And I have a hard time using those. I do end up getting it on the layout, but they're something that I struggle with a little bit because they are so tiny. And then I did glue that lenticular piece down, and I'm going to move it up, but I had to peel it off the paper, so I stuck that blue camera around there. I like the shape of it, and the blue brings the blue down to that corner. I also played with the puffy stickers, thinking I might use those, but they don't make it on the layout. We are nearing the end of the video, so stick around for the close-ups. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, give me a thumbs up down below, and if you're not a subscriber, I'd love for you to subscribe. See you next time.